Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we're gonna be reacting to.
Reacting to my subscribers' K-pop opinions
Okay.
because I'm worried about Jennie's album.
I was waiting to do one of her videos
Why?
because we got mics now. I feel like we're reporting the news.
1. Your thoughts on Jennie's album? Jennie dropped the first teasers for her upcoming studio album Tired Ruby, which will feature 15 songs.
Tired
That's
Ruby.
insane. By March this year, the Blackpink girls will have released over 40 songs, which is more than what
She
they
looks
put out
good
under
here.
YG in 7
I
years.
love this outfit.
It's mind-blowing when you put it into perspective. What caught my attention the most is Jennie having 6 features on her album. I get wanting to stack the project with big names like Doechii,
Oh,
Dua Lipa,
oh,
and Dominic Fike to generate hype and cross-pollinate fanbases. But there's also a risk here.
Dominic Fike is a big name. I've never heard that name in my life before.
that's a lot of collabs.
Why? 15 songs, 6 features. That's not a lot. Less than half. It's not a big
But
deal.
let me see the people who are on it.
I don't think it's that many. Childish Gambino, Doechii, I don't know, Kali Uchi, Dua Lipa, and I don't know.
That's a lot. That's a lot to me. A lot of big names.
No, the names are big, but I'm just saying it's not too many to a point where you can say, oh, every song has a feature. No, I feel like out of 15 songs, if 8, 9 had features, then we can talk about it. Like every song has a 6 is a
But
reasonable
do
number
you
out of
think
15.
it's a good idea to put all these big names in one album?
Why not?
I feel like, in an
Well,
album you want to like
but the
sprinkle.
Americans do the same thing.
They do?
Yeah,
Like
every album
who?
throw a name.
Like, no, I'm asking you because I say like who? Because I would see maybe one or
Anybody?
two. You have that, but like eight? That's a
No,
lot.
not 8, 6.
6?
Yeah, 6, not 8.
Six is
8 is a lot. It's 6. I don't
6?
think.
I don't know.
Well, okay,
I don't
let's.
know. I don't know if that's a thing because I would think that you're competing against yourself, which songs that people are going to like. I don't know if this is the best strategy.
Well,
6?
I'm a pull out random 21
Like
Savage
anyone,
album.
anyone. No, someone like her, pick in her
So
category.
who's like her? No,
Okay, like there's Doja Cat. We can do
no, Doja Cat had the whole album, no
Espresso,
features. I'm not. That's not.
Espresso,
She
Sabrina
doesn't have
Carpenter,
features either.
Lady Gaga. We can do Rihanna. We
Rihanna is
could
a
do
feature queen. Rihanna is.
Britney Spears. We can do
Okay,
on and
Rihanna. Let me
on.
pull up Rihanna. But Rihanna is
Yeah,
just.
go on and out. It's not gonna be full of features.
Okay, so which loud, let's say. One feature with Drake, two feature with Nicki, feature with Eminem, 3 features. Out of 11, but 11 songs. So let's, if we do 15 songs, she would probably have 4, maybe 5 features. Which is, again,
Because
not
this is supposed to be
outrageous
I want
number
this
to
to be
me.
a Jennie album. Let's be very clear. Jennie makes really good music. I don't need Jennie and Friends album.
I don't mind it.
Jennie and Friends album.
Okay, so another Rihanna album, Unapologetic. She has 4 features, five features, 5 features out of 14 songs. So almost the same thing as hers, basically. I don't think it's
Yeah, but who are
outrageous.
the features on hers?
Eminem, Future, David Guetta, Chris Brown, Mickey Echo, big names, big names,
I
big
guess
big names.
that's one, but
No, but
that album came out a long time ago too.
I'm okay, but my
Nowadays,
point is
my point is this should be a
people,
Jennie's
Western
album.
artists do that. This is very Western strategy. K-pop don't do collabs. Western they do. I don't think it's a big deal at all. I think
It's just my opinion. I'm just one girl
yeah,
with little mic.
okay. Well, my opinion is not a big deal. If anything, I like the fact. I want to see how she can collab with others. Well, I guess in Blackpink they do
Because
collab. So
I'm also thinking, okay, those that you listen in Rihanna's album, their identity, okay, their sound, but this everyone's like it's like different sounds here.
how does Rihanna and Eminem have the same sound? They
I think this
they
album
make
came
it work.
after the Love the Way You Lie album.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
yeah, but
Yeah,
then
that was the payback. That was like, sir, you
I
gotta put in more
understand.
work
I
because I worked on
understand.
your song. You need
I
to give some.
understand, but
And what's the song she has?
Monster.
Monster?
Yeah.
It didn't hit. Mm-mm.
It didn't hit.
Mm-mm. Monster on the Ariana's album?
Yes.
Monster. Well, sing the song.
I'm friends with the
Oh,
monster
that's that
that's
song.
under
He's on
my
it.
bed.
Then I
Yes.
skip this part. Then I must skip this part.
Whatever.
It could end up feeling less like her album and more like a compilation project. When you're trying to establish yourself as a standalone artist, the focus should really be on you, not how well you can
That's
share
what
the
I
spotlight.
said.
No,
Take
I
Charlie
disagree.
XCX's self-titled album, for
Girl,
example. That
I'm
record
telling
had
you
some great
today.
moments, but it often felt like Charlie was just the curator of a playlist
2025.
rather than the star of her own show.
Exactly.
And that's the
Exactly.
danger
I
Jennie
feel like
might
this should be her
run into
moment.
here if the feature
Maybe. Listen, okay, listen. You can get away with that if this was like your third, fourth album. But this is your come out to the West Side. This is your come out to the West Side. You need to come out and show out on your own. Pop off on your own, girl. You see what Rose did? She dropped an album. How many features
And
on it?
nobody's listening to it though.
But
She saw what
but
Rosie did and like,
I
okay, I
felt
can't do
like
that.
Rose's album gave a Rose. We got to know Rose. Rose as a solo artist. I feel like right now Jennie is riding the wave. I don't want her to ride the wave on. I want her to
I don't
showcase
know.
her work.
I disagree. I feel like Rose. Look, Rose. The only song with the feature is a bop. The other songs more
No,
play.
3 a.m.
Okay, who's playing
is a
them? Who's
slave
playing them?
because they're busy listening to Apete. Because you have Bruno Mars and everybody promoting
Nah.
Apete.
Mm-mm. She needs features to make her name known in the West. Without
I
features,
guess
ain't
it's a
nobody gonna
different
listen.
approach.
She's unknown name. Nobody knows her. She can walk down the street, nobody gonna recognize her. Come on,
She
stop.
was in Met Gala 2024. I wish I had an invite.
Only K-pop fans know her here in the States. She needs those collabs so people listen to her outside of
The
her.
song "You and Me" popped off here. You and Me
Where?
here in the States.
You heard it on the radio?
Yeah,
Okay, I haven't.
that's the only
Features
song.
overshadow
You
her,
and
or if
Me.
the album lacks a cohesive identity because of all the different
Exactly.
voices, it could dilute her
Yes.
impact as a soloist. Like, are we
I
listening to
agree.
Jennie's vision, or are we just vibing to a bunch of collabs she happened to be
I
on?
feel you.
That said, it could also work in her favor if the features are
We are listening to just be vibing to the album. What vision? Albums nowadays, they don't have vision. This is not 2005 where an album is telling a story. Like, because Rose did that doesn't mean people do that. You take any other person's album, there's no story. Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I
You.
disagree.
We reacted to plenty albums where like,
Like,
wasn't Jungkook's album where it was no story?
yeah, it was. It was happy in the
Right,
beginning,
and
and the
then
mood all changed.
And the mood, what kind of story is that?
It's a story.
Like, nah, it's no story. You know who had a story? Eminem had a story.
Oh,
But Eminem is
here
a
he comes
2000s.
crawling back again.
Yes, because he's an old artist. Those artists do, but now the young artists, there's no album. It's just collection of tracks.
How many features he got on his album?
Eminem?
Because he has an identity. Yelling at Mom Spaghetti. Who's yelling with him about Mom Spaghetti?
I don't know how many features he has. He has Jelly Roll, I know. Then
in his recent album.
Yeah, then he has the three guys. Remember the music video that was with Big Sean and the other guy.
I just feel like you could get away with that when you have more albums out. Jennie, this is your first album, girl.
I feel like it's more important to
like
do
she
features than it's the first
I feel
album.
like she got some heavy names. I would have saved a couple of them for my second or third album. Oh, whatever.
9 features.
He has 9 features out of how many? 30 songs?
19.
9 features?
Yeah.
Damn, that's a lot.
And 2 skits, so 3 skits. So basically, okay, so songs without features, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 songs without features out of what? 15 songs. So 9 features, 6 without features.
I mean, we're gonna see this strategy, different approach.
Used strategically, like if they enhance her sound rather than distract from it. But 6 features on a debut? That's a lot. It almost feels like she's hedging her bets, which makes me wonder how confident she or her team is in her ability to carry the project on her own. 2. What are your thoughts on Dear Alice? I barely hear anything about them anymore. Dear Alice is SM's British boy group, introduced through the BBC reality show Made in Korea. The group consists of 5 members, aged between 19 and 23, and they are set to officially debut on February 21st with the single Ariana. Although their debut is upcoming, they have already performed the song on several TV shows and just recently on the SM Town concert. And while it wasn't a train wreck, it was giving major we just graduated from a survival show vibes. Like who let these boys out of the practice room this early? The lack of chemistry was painful. They're supposed to be a group, but instead it's like 5 random dudes who met at the airport and decided to form a boy band on the flight over. The synergy? Non-existent. They need so much more training. Their facials were giving deer in headlights. And their stage presence was somewhere between I'm trying my best and I'm just here so I don't get fined. The member with the buzz cut clearly ate the choreography, but the rest? It's like they're all dancing in different universes. One guy's going full out, another's moving like he's conserving energy for the after party, and the rest are somewhere in the middle. It's chaotic and not in a good way. A group should move like a unit, not 5 dudes at varying levels of effort. And don't even get me started on that stage.
I mean,
just another.
I agree with what she's saying, but I can't comment because we haven't seen it. I have no idea what she's talking about.
Empty, lifeless stage with no sets or backup dancers, but they're not quite at the level where they can carry a bare stage on their own. You need charisma and presence to make that work, and they're not there yet. But the absolute facepalm here is how SM is treating Dear Alice like it's still 2005. No marketing, no advertising. Hello? Did someone forget to tell them the internet
we didn't know it existed until this video, so yeah, they're not marketing it at all.
exists? The days of plopping a group of pretty boys into a studio, slapping some half-baked choreo on them and praying for a miracle are dead. And don't even get me started on the fact that this is a British group they're trying to push with the same cookie-cutter K-pop playbook, which shows a complete lack of understanding of the market. Dear Alice feels like a product no one asked for, with not even a decent social media presence. Are these guys in witness protection or something? You've got platforms like TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube literally begging for content, and yet Dear Alice is nowhere to be found. Meanwhile, other groups are out here posting behind the scenes.
It's banned, but that's only in the US.
It's not bad though.
I know. That's why I said I was going to say.
Clips,
But then I
goofy
realized it's
challenges,
just
and live streams that
me.
make fans feel like they're hanging out with their best friends, aka Cat's Eye, but SM? They're out here acting like a couple of awkward tweets, and a few stiff TV performances are enough. 3. What do you think about Everglow's Mia opening individual TikTok and YouTube accounts? Is the inevitable coming? It's not just her,
What?
other members are setting up their own individual social media accounts too.
Why is that
With the
a
way
big
the
deal?
group's been
Got it
falling apart
going
lately and all the crap that's
solo.
gone down before this. It's pretty much a flashing neon sign that disbandment is around the corner. Everglow has
I don't know. I don't know why that is a YouTube channel. Maybe a little bit interesting, but
You think so?
individual TikTok,
I
like
feel
a
they should be able
person.
to have their individual thing.
I mean, no, I agree with that,
Yeah.
but I guess we can just say that it's not like super common for people to have solo if they're part of the group, like YouTube. You know, if they're part of the group, like for example, Stray, because I don't think any of them have a YouTube. But to have your own TikTok, what's weird about that? Like, I just don't necessarily see a need for I guess you could. Nothing wrong with that. You could. It's just uncommon. So we do see, for example, Blackpink girls. They all have solo, and they're still part of the group. So it doesn't mean it's gonna be a disbandment. So you could. It's just not like every person has. But TikTok, everybody has an individual TikTok. Why would she not be allowed to have TikTok? There's nothing wrong with that.
always been the forgotten middle child in UFO's lineup. The company pours all its energy into Yena and Tempest, while Everglow gets tossed a bone every couple of years. But even when Yuehua does throw them a chance, it's not like Everglow is bringing in numbers that justify any major investment. Their revenue doesn't even come close to the other acts under the label. Their fans are loud
she
online,
has a
but all
yellow
that
bag?
noise has never translated into
idea.
actual sales. While Yuehua clearly gave up on them
Pop,
halfway
though.
through, the
Doesn't
fans didn't
match, but
exactly step
pops.
up and show the company there was serious demand for the group either. Companies don't care about hashtags or streaming parties. They care about cold hard numbers, album sales, concert tickets, and merch, and Everglow just hasn't been delivering on any of those fronts. No matter how much their fans hype them up, honestly, I think a lot of us had way too much hope in Everglow. They pulled in some of the craziest numbers on YouTube and streaming platforms, hundreds of millions of views that made it seem like they were on the brink of blowing up. But when you look
of Le Seraphim and Kiss of Life, when they perform at that event, the black with the brown and the strings. You don't remember their outfits?
AAA?
Yeah. When
no,
I
I
said
don't.
Kiss of Life was wearing similar outfits to Le Seraphim.
I don't know.
Le Seraphim.
looked closer at their
similar.
album sales or concert attendance, it was painfully obvious that all those views didn't reflect real popularity. It's hard not to wonder
this
if
is more
Yuehua inflated those numbers
conservative.
to make the group look bigger than they actually were. I'm not saying it's a fact, but those numbers always felt a little too good to be true. The truth is, the writing has been on the wall for Everglow since the beginning. Mismanagement from Yuehua, a lack of genuine fan support where it actually matters, and maybe even some overhyped expectations, all combined to create the perfect storm. 4. It is official. Kiss of Life's company has confirmed that their creative director left the company last November. What are your predictions for them? You're right, director Lee Hain jumped ship and signed on to work with JTBC for their upcoming boy group, hilariously named
She's
Close Your
getting
Eyes.
paid more,
Seriously, Close Your
guys.
Eyes? What's next? A girl group called Hold Your Breath? She's got her work cut out for her, that's for sure. We always knew she's gonna leave. She was upfront about exploring other ventures once Kiss of Life are more self-sustaining. She came in, did the job, and made sure the group had a distinct identity and style. The hardest part of any new act is breaking through the noise, and thanks to her creative direction, they've already got their foot in the door. The foundation is set. If the group is solid talent-wise and has a team that can keep the momentum going, they'll be fine. Creative directors aren't meant to be forever fixtures anyway. They're there to
Right.
build, inspire, and move on. Looking at you,
She did the
Minheejin.
job.
5.
She
Have you heard?
completed the job.
Yeah, I
Moving
agree with
on.
her. I think
Yeah, it's not a
yeah,
big
it's,
deal.
it's not a big deal.
And It doesn't have to be bloodshed all the time. Like when they
Yeah.
break up, like it doesn't have to be bad and
Yeah,
toxic.
and we don't have to act like they're family. They're supposed to.
Yeah,
It's just a
that's
fucking
actually
job.
quite toxic.
Yeah, somebody pays more, you leave. It's not that end of the world. Who cares?
We're not getting an EXO comeback this year. One of the members confirmed that it's not happening. Yes, member DO straight up said that they're starting preparations this year but don't expect a comeback until next year. Makes sense though. They're obviously waiting for the youngest members Kai and Si-hoon to finish their military service, which won't be until September. On top of that, almost all the members have solo albums lined up for this year, so that's where the focus is right now. And, let's not forget, only 5 members are still signed under SM, while the other 4, Baekhyun, Chen, Xiumin and Lane, are running their own companies for their individual stuff. Coordinating all that is no joke. Who knows what's really going on behind the scenes? Remember when Chen, Baekhyun and Xiumin filed a lawsuit against SM Entertainment in 2023, citing unfair slave contracts with excessively long durations
Ooh.
and a lack of transparency regarding their earnings? They eventually said.
So I wonder if they're gonna come back as a group.
That's
Then.
awkward.
Yeah, like how would that work?
So
you
are we not in a slave contract
yeah.
anymore?
So what? Oh, it's okay to have a slave contract as a group, but as a solo, you don't want a slave contract. That don't make no sense.
Ooh.
Settled. But it really
Maybe
makes
they
you
got
wonder
different
what else
terms.
could be holding up the comeback. 6. Stans have the worst gaydar on the planet. The way they stereotype idols is straight up embarrassing. A girl gets a wolf cut or rocks some oversized clothes and suddenly she's the poster child for lesbianism. Meanwhile, the more feminine idols
I
are
never
always
thought about
labeled straight.
that.
I agree. Stan's queer radar is a whole circus act. And spoiler
Oh.
alert, y'all are the clowns. The way some of you clock a girl as gay because she got a wolf cut or wore baggy clothes.
Clocker.
Groundbreaking detective work. Truly, Sherlock Holmes
Who are we
shaking in his
talking
grave.
about?
Meanwhile, the feminine idols get
know.
slapped with the label straightest in the group. Because apparently, in your
Ooh.
world, queerness only comes in one flavor, tomboy chic. Y'all are out here stereotyping so hard it's giving 2010 Tumblr energy. And it's not just harmless jokes, some of you actually believe your headcanons. Then when an idol doesn't live up to your little fantasy, oh, the betrayal. You act like they personally came to your house and ripped up your photo cards. Here's a thought. Maybe, just maybe idols aren't auditioning for roles in your imaginary gay drama. They're real people with real lives that don't revolve around your need to slap a label on everything that moves. Also, let's
I just
address
thought the wolf cut was just trendy.
I guess she put the people that she's talking about, not some
I think in
random.
general, anyone that gets like a wolf cut,
But I
is a
feel like
lady.
somebody did that, and
Oh.
those comments came out. That's why we're talking about this. Because now we're just seeing random group dancing. Like,
the
who cares?
hypocrisy. Y'all scream about breaking gender norms and celebrating individuality. But the second someone doesn't fit your stereotype of queerness, you're lost. Why can't a feminine idol be queer? Why can't a tomboy be straight? Why are we even still having this conversation in 2025? 7. Have y'all watched the second season of EXO Kitty? I felt like they just shoved whatever
No.
K-pop song was popular onto the
This is on
soundtrack.
Netflix?
Most of them
I
felt
guess.
random and mismatched with the tone of the series. I'd also
Is it
love to
good?
hear your thoughts
Guys,
on the
let us
series
know.
as a whole. I agree. The soundtrack of EXO Kitty Season 2 was rough. Whoever picked those songs must have been throwing darts at a random playlist because the choices were all over the place. Take Espace Drama
Oh.
for example. It's great for hyping up a solo villain arc. But the editor
Okay.
slapped it into an emotionally tense moment. It felt like the scene was about to break into a TikTok dance challenge. Absolutely tone deaf. Even Ives I Am and in Hypen's EXO felt like they were added just for the sake of including popular K-pop songs. And for my thoughts of this
Oh.
season, I'll give credit where it's due. The show had its moments. Kitty is a charming lead. Her quirkiness can carry a scene when the writing doesn't fumble it. Some of the side characters? Absolute scene stealers. Yuri had a glow up this season, both in character depth and presence, giving us someone actually compelling to root for. The cultural elements like the exploration of Korean traditions and family dynamics were a nice touch, even though they sometimes
That'd
felt
be
more
nice
like set dressing than fully
to watch.
integrated into the story. And the fashion? Slade, they knew how to dress these characters, I'll give them that, but everything else kind of fall flat. The love triangles were more tangled than a pair of earbuds, but not in a juicy can't look away way. It felt forced, like the writers were grasping at straws to inject drama where there wasn't any. Some characters were reduced to caricatures. Poor Minho was treated like a walking stereotype half the time,
Oh,
and the
I guess
pacing?
it's a K-drama then?
Atrocious.
Yeah.
It's like they
K-drama,
spent half the season building up a conflict and resolved it with a half-hearted hug and a cheesy one-liner. Emotional payoff? Non-existent. And don't even get me started on the tonal inconsistencies. 1 minute it's trying to be a heartfelt coming-of-age story. The next it's a campy rom-com with slapstick humor that doesn't land. Pick a lane EXO Kitty. The whole thing felt like a patchwork quilt of genres stitched together with weak dialogue.
Right.
Okay, guys, of course, let us know your thoughts. If you could like, comment, and subscribe, join the Discord, and as always, share as much kindness as possible.